welcome to Disc and Balls Golf Channel. Today I'm testing out the Løft hydrogen. I think that's how it's pronounced. So I got some mail, and hopefully the wind doesn't screw this up too much. Woo. Sorted stuff. I forget if I got 3 betas and 2 alphas, okay. Or 4 betas. I was hoping that they would replace my Voodoo putting wise, but ooh. Here's one of the betas. This is the first time I'm seeing them. I just cut this open, but so a little bit grippy, might be alright. But we're gonna be throwing these today. The Løft. Here's one of the alphas, much glossier. Feels pretty good. And I got the Voodoo to use as a what's the word I'm looking for? Baseline on how I expect them to fly. Throw these two back in here because I want to see. Really, I was looking for something less glidey in this Corpus wind. Whatever, I'm making a mess of this. But we'll see how they go, see how they fly. I know there's been a lot of interest in the review, and unfortunately, I think it's a little too breezy for the drone. That'll be okay. I'm gonna try the drone. I don't know how to pronounce Nordic languages at all. So Scandinavian, Nordic, I don't even know the difference. Culturally failed, but I've got the drone set up out there, holding station. It should be visible. Oh, there it is, yeah. Just kind of drifting. It's about 260 feet away. I shouldn't be able to hit it with a disc. I'm gonna throw the Voodoo first as a sort of, it's a 2300 flight rating. These are supposed to be 1200, as you can kind of see on the corners here. So we'll see how they fly, see if they compare. And I've heard in some cases they're glidier than the Voodoo, which would not be what I want as a putter, but maybe as an upshot disc. So let's give it a go. I've got the drone recording, I think. Yeah, that's good. Let's see how these behave. Downwind, upwind, etc. Well, it's very nose up hyzered. And yeah, kind of whatever. I'm trying to throw a little flatter. It might take a couple things to get warmed up. This one's the beta solid. It's a little grippier. Maybe not like DX or unlike DX as far as overall feel. So it is downwind. That one actually looked like it might have turned over a little bit. Try and throw this one a little cleaner. This one's kind of equivalent to Star, the alpha plastic. If I can get it's a little gummier. So super straight. That's pretty cool. I hope it showed up on drone. Now we're trying them into the headwinds. Going with the Voodoo first, trying to throw it a little flat. It should turn right. The Voodoo, especially in the super stupid soft plastic, pretty understable into a headwind. And there it is, there's the turn right. Let's see what the hydrogen does. If it holds its line, I'm going to be super impressed. Or the beta. So it turns over a little into a headwind too. feel like this drone's gonna hit me in the fucking head. Let's try and hyzer flip this a tiny bit. Oh yeah, that's very straight. It didn't take much hyzer to keep that straight. Let's try some Annie and some other shots. All right, Voodoo first again. We're trying to try a big Annie and see just how well it holds its line. I got it nose up. That one came out of it left a little bit. Nose down. Oh, great roller angle. That's lovely. Yeah, I didn't really want to come out of it till the end. Okay, now we'll throw a big hyzer and try and knock the drone out of this guy. I don't think I can reach it. That never even remotely came back. It's not bad, pretty mellow glide. It's super predictable. I do like that. I kind of got that annied over. All right, I'm gonna try and hyzer flip all three in the headwind. So the drone's battery died, but let me give you an example of how it goes forehand. Just from throwing it back toward my car. I don't think it's gonna be great with either plastic, but let's do the Voodoo by comparison. Just a one finger flick, kind of spread out, makes it easier for me to keep the off-axis torque at bay. Meh, that didn't fly very well. One of the cleaner throws I've had. Okay. So up shots, I mean that wasn't bad at all. Okay, yeah. Surprisingly clean with the split finger. I actually like that flight. Super straight. And that's what it touted to be. Was the straightest disc in disc golf. Let's throw a couple more before we go into putting. So this will be left to right crosswind. I'm fully expecting all these. I know the Voodoo is going to flip over. But I'm going to try and release the other ones flat and kind of anticipate how much they turn right. Just as a guide to like a turnover type shot. So here's the beta again. I think the beta will generally turn over more if I had to guess. It didn't really, it stood up, but then it just kind of lazily glided right. Let's try and aim it at, see if I can get a good line. At like this telephone pole here. So that was a little hyzered, and in the crosswind it kind of ended up Just a little right around here or so. But pretty straight. I mean, like, man, I'm surprised at how well they hold up in the wind. Like the Voodoo in the headwind, for example, even putting, it'll tend to fade a little bit right before straightening out on longer putts. And I'm very interested to see how the hydrogen does in that regard, whether it stays more straight or whether it gets pushed around a little more. If it is glidier, which the Beta seems to be of similar glide to the Voodoo, the Alpha might be a little glidier and be a little more awkward potentially. But let's go get away from this field and see what they do on a basket. So with the Kickstarter campaign, you had options of getting extras. So I got 4 of the Beta, because really I was trying to replace the Voodoo as a putter. And so I have no idea if I'm in frame, but whatever. Got the traditional black, that was the basic one. One with blue foil. One with silver foil. I also got an Alpha with gold foil, because I figured, you know, kind of one silver, one gold. And then there was a special blue on the different color instead of the, you know, traditional purple. And I was like, oh, that seems neat. So let's see how they fly putter-wise. This is about 18 feet. And they seem a little more stable than the Voodoo. And a little firmer. The Voodoo's obviously a soft rubber type blend. Ooh. And so it's gonna tend to grab and not bounce back as much. A couple of ugly putts on those last 2. Let's throw a couple of wobbly fools. I did the throwing out in the field before the putting because I really wanted to get an accurate, you know, assessment of their flight before hitting basket and stuff. The top of this basket in particular will cut chunks out of this very readily. See, that one would have definitely fallen with the Voodoo. There's nothing wrong with that. Good old allergies, fun times. That grabs chains well. Even left side. I think I'll have to tinker. I don't know if it'll replace the Voodoo. But I like the flight overall. I think it tends to stable up a little bit more, which is all right. It also doesn't tend to want to hold Annie as much. The Voodoo, if I put on a bit of an Annie, it'll tend to hang out there a little bit right, and then maybe come back if it felt like it. But so I think, man, what do I think? I think these are less susceptible to fluttering in the wind, maybe. I'll have to pull it out in the front yard and really try it in the wind. Oh, wow. Almost never have them sneak through like the chains after hitting the front of the basket, and that one almost did. So like the rare push throughs or spit outs might be something, if I were to change to them, something that I'd have to, you know, get used to. Yeah, I'm so glad I threw them before, because they're already taking some basket damage. Alright, I was going to record the last section of my front yard, but the wind kind of died down out there. It's still kind of blustering through the backyard. But yeah, I'm just trying to see how much they lift, like if I can notice them compared to the Voodoo. And I wouldn't say that one did much, although the wind's kind of super weak currently. Ugh. Let's try and not be a punk and make all 4. See, that one lifted, which is fortunate because I threw it very nose down. That's pretty good. I don't know how I like how it slips through. That seems fine. Maybe less direct putts. Let's see how it spin putts. It might help if I threw it like a non-dork. That's a little better. That last one had the right spin. Oh gosh, that's a dent. It does tend to hold the ante a little more readily in the wind. Huh. Okay, do a little more pushy putty. It actually kind of glides like very predictably. That was a little more antied, but pretty predictable as far as a light float. Let's try straddle. Yeah. Huh. Oh, bullshit. Okay, it's humid and gross, so my overall thoughts, final initial thoughts, and I'll probably do another review a month or so and figure out if these go in my bag or if they're just like a fun, unique way to support a new disc golf manufacturer. But Hydrogen, or Hydrogen's Alpha, the star type plastic, I think behaves very similarly to like a hard Wizard as far as like a throwing type putter. It's a little straighter. It won't come back as readily, and it's not quite as consistently straight to stable. I mean, straight yes, but it doesn't stable up a lot at the very end, especially if you started on a bit of an ante. It will kind of get to flat, but I didn't see it come back much at all from an ante type throw backhand. The Beta was a little less stable, pretty similar to the Voodoo overall. If I had to estimate it, as far as putting, slightly more stable than the Voodoo, and then throwing wise, it was slightly less stable than the Alpha Solid. But overall, I think they're fun. I think they're both pretty straight discs. Probably great for beginners if you can. Obviously, you're going to have to wait a little while to get your hands on them as they ramp up production and whatnot. But yeah, they're super straight. I think if you're wanting something similar to the Alpha, I think a hard plastic, like I forget the specific stuff from Gateway for the Wizard, but a hard plastic Wizard is very similar in flight. I've got one in my bag right now, and it will tend to hold a hyzer line and stay reliable. It's a little straighter. This one might flip up and then hold straight, and probably not fade as much at the end as that hard Wizard. Super close though. It's like right there. And then the Beta is just a little grippier, a little tackier. Probably good in rain for the Oregonians or Pacific Northwest in general. But I think it was just a little bit less stable than the Alpha. So overall, I like them. I'm going to play with them, take them out on the course, and they're fascinating. I think it's fun how straight they are, because it's just, you can kind of just throw them. They'll have that initial turn, and then they flatten out, and they stay pretty straight after the initial. If you're thrown into a headwind, a little tiny hyzer flip, and it stays pretty damn straight. So yeah, fun discs. Obviously hard to acquire. The hard Wizard is a good alternative, and then for the Beta, I can't really think of the Alpha's a little bit closer to that hard Wizard than this one if you're looking for a similar disc. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully it's a helpful review, and I'll probably definitely have some videos playing courses with them.